So let's check the forums today to see if there's been any game updates. It's a beautiful morning today and I'm having such a fantastic day. Let's have a look. Oh, there's been an update. Oh, yeah. What? Thrawn. No. It can't be. It's impossible. Welcome back to another episode of Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. As always, it's me, the Smithie D, and today's video is about why we should not be talking about the Phoenix Squad in the Phoenix Club. So that's right guys, the first rule of the Phoenix Club is that we do not talk about the Phoenix Club. I don't actually have any more rules past that. I think that kind of solves all the issues. You know, we're probably secretly going to be farming. I know definitely you're watching right now and you're thinking, considering it, to farm the Phoenix Squad. And hey, if you're part of the Phoenix Squad, we can just deny it, because if Thrawn doesn't turn out overpowered, then we can just be like, hey, I didn't farm him for Thrawn, you know, it was just, you know, I just picked him up gradually, you know, and we can, you know, that's the Phoenix Club right there. So we're going to stick with that, and we're going to talk about how to farm them, what to do, and potentially what Thrawn could bring to the game, and that's it really. So let's crack on with it and see what information I can give you today on gearing, starring, and what are the possibilities of what you could take into a legend event. And that's right guys, it has been confirmed that it is a brand new legend event, so it'll be exactly the same as R2-D2, Palpatine and Yoda, with the exception that we'll need the Phoenix Squad that have just come out of the Chromiums into the free-to-play. But hey, we don't actually know as of yet when this Thrawn event will be dropping. We just know straight away of the requirements of what we're going to need for these kind of like flash events. So the flash event started today on the 9th of June. It will however be returning on the 12th, the 15th, the 18th, the 21st, the 24th, the 27th and the 30th of this month. All you need to do the first round and the second round is have the characters at the star level. You do not need them geared because you are using event characters. However, the bonus tier is where the real goodness is, where it does drop 3 Zeta ability mats, 1 full piece of the furnace and 1 full piece of the stun cuffs. On the bonus tier, you're going to need to have 5 times 5-star Phoenix characters, and this is not including Chopper. Chopper is an event character that you're loaned for the event on the 6 character slot, so this means you're going to need to have the rest of them at 5-star, gear 7 or above, and that is including Sabine. In my opinion, Sabine is the hardest character to farm, with her only being available in the hard node and also the guild shipments. You can still pick her up in the shard shop with shard shop currency, but it all depends on how much shard shop currency you've got and if you're willing to let that go on a character just to get her to 5-star. But realistically, we're going to have a look at the characters, who's worth farming, who potentially you're going to need for this Thrawn event, and in my honest opinion, Sabine's not one of them. I think you were able to go through to this Thrawn event without Sabine, but you're still going to need to get it to 5-star if you are wanting to take part in the flash events on the bonus tier. So as the Thrawn event has been confirmed as a legend event, hopefully it does follow suit that you need in certain star level of the characters, and hopefully it's not demanding on which characters you can take in. There is no specifications on the forums to say that you need to take in Sabine, for example. It does say Phoenix characters, and like all other events, it should only be 5. So you're going to need to have 5-star characters by 5 to unlock Thrawn at 5-star. So I'm going to do a mini breakdown of how I rate the characters and what usefulness they're going to have in the game. Starting with Chopper, my honest opinion that he is a terrible character, and if I was to review him, I definitely would be giving him a D. He doesn't really bring much to the game as of yet. He is a pilot, and hopefully we're going to be seeing the Phoenix ships come farmable in the future and make it a little bit more worthwhile for this actual like big farm we're having to do to get Thrawn. So that could be hitting two birds with one stone, because their ships are actually quite good for the fleet arena. I've seen footage of it, I've faced them, and yeah, I do enjoy facing them. They are a very, very good team with them fully geared and fully starred on the ships, and hopefully that isn't too far behind and we're going to be able to get our hands on that. For this event, you're going to have to farm Chopper, unfortunately, unless you're going to go the route of Sabine, but there's a lot of us, like myself, that aren't going to have all the resources to go that route and take Sabine. Sabine and Ezra are definitely the two best characters out of this team, so you can make that difficult decision, and if you are in a situation to kind of get Sabine, then definitely choose Sabine over Chopper and just leave Chopper out of this list. Ezra, great character. He can work in this team, he can work in Jedi. You know, a lot of people do use him in the Jedi squad under a Qui-Gon Jinn Zeta. He works under a General Kenobi lead, so he does have a lot of usefulness outside the Phoenix squad. So you can use him in raids and he will perform for you. You can use him in the arena, but in this squad he's not really that great. Zeb, in my opinion, is like Marmite. Some people like him, some people don't. I personally like Zeb, and I would probably rate him around about a B. He is a good character. He can fit into pretty much any rebel team and do what you need him to do, to be a little bit of a tanky character, to land some like negative effects. He does stun, he does land daze, so he is a great character. But again, in this team it's very difficult for anybody to shine. Hera, 100% you're going to need for this event. She is the leader to make the Phoenix squad work. She is in Cantina nodes, the same as Ezra, so my opinion on that is to farm both of them. It is going to take a little bit longer, but it probably won't take as long as what it would with Sabine. I don't think overall she's a great character, nor does she have a great leadership, but she will be the difference for this Thrawn event by taking either a gear 8 or maybe a gear 7 Phoenix squad. You may be able to get away with some good mods on them to take into the Thrawn event because of the chemistry and survivability they have as a team. So that could be the big difference of going in with her or without her. You may be looking at, you may need gear 11 characters if you don't farm Hera, so she is one of the biggest importance of what you need for this team. Then I would probably rate her around about a C, potentially borderline D. I haven't really looked into that aspect on the character. She's just there mostly because she's the leader. Other than that, I probably would never run her in any other team because she doesn't bring anything past her Phoenix leadership. Kanan is kind of like a poor man's General Kenobi. I probably would rate him around about a C, but you could use him in a Jedi team. You could move him around. He's not as great as a General Kenobi, and he probably only does a bit part of what General Kenobi can do. But again, you're going to need him for this Phoenix event, so this is kind of the coin, the deal that we've been kind of like dealt, and it's either that if you want to go after Thrawn, then you're going to have to farm these characters, unfortunately. I don't like it. I don't really like these characters. I don't feel that they're great in any game mode as a team, but you're definitely going to be getting worth out of Ezra and Sabine. Sabine is definitely kind of like Ezra's level. She can work in some other teams. There's a lot of kind of like chemistry you can build elsewhere with her. If you can farm her, get her over Chopper and leave Chopper out. As the same with most of the Phoenix characters, when you get to gear 7, they start getting really heavy on the gear requirements. We're talking they're going to have some Cabantes. Chopper, fortunately, does not have any Cabantes as of yet, so he does look a little bit easier to get to gear 8 if you are wanting to take there. But I had a look at Sabine, which we'll also look in this video to see what the gear requirements is. My suggestion is to take your characters to gear 7. Don't take them beyond that unless you can afford to. Then wait till the event comes out, stockpile the gear that you need, and see if you can get away with them being gear 7. This is probably the smartest strategy that you can do in this game. Instead of putting them into tunes that essentially that you don't want, get them to the star levels and leave them at gear 7 and try the event. If you do need to take them up a couple of gears, then do it a step by step. There is no need or requirement for you to go all out and just gear 11 them. The main thing here is the Hera lead is what's going to give them a survivability. Put some mods on them and then try it. If it is difficult, then slowly take them up, but make sure that you are farming the gear pieces that you need, so you're not set in that situation where you have not got the gear. So Gear 8, what we can see on Chopper is that he's going to need the furnace, he's going to need some cuffs, he's going to need some more syringes, he's going to need to have the Mark IV droid collars, which I'm sure everyone's probably got about 3,000 of them, so it's not too difficult. A lot of these characters need the holo projectors. A lot of them do need a lot of these holo projectors. You can pick them up for 300 crystals if you're not free to play, or you could farm them, but there's sometimes better gear to farm than them. Gear 9, what we can see is he needs, again, another stack of gear, which is the Nubian design tech, the Nubian security scanner. We're talking cuffs, some more syringes, and then if you wanted to go to the Gear 11, isn't too bad except for the Merson shield generators. They're quite rare, you know, they're difficult to get hold of. You can farm them. Again, we can see on here is, I think it's the first Kabanti and a stun gun. Big blow there. That's, stun guns can take a while to farm. At Gear 7 with Ezra, you're going to be faced with some hypo syringes and some Kabantis to take him to Gear 8. There's going to be others to kind of gear him up, but as you can see on here, once you're past that, it starts to get a little bit more heavy. We're talking some droid caller, we've got another Kabanti stun gun, stun cuffs, and you can see there quite a lot of premium gear to kind of like take him up if you did want to take him to Gear 10, and this is why I'm giving my recommendation of trying the event with a Gear 7 and then moving up slowly while the event is active. Again, we don't know when this event is, but I'm sure that hopefully we're going to be finding out tomorrow. With Zeb, you're going to be faced with some Kabantis as soon as you hit Gear 7. Then we've got some more Kabantis. As you can see, there's 150 sitting there on Gear 8 with 100 stun cuffs. You've also got a furnace. You've got some more hypo syringes. Gear 9, we've got some raid gear, more Kabantis, stun cuffs. So as you can imagine, it's going to be quite expensive to get this team up geared. With Hera at Gear 7, all you're going to really need is the holo projectors to take her to Gear 8. The rest of the other stuff is quite farmable, or you may have a lot of it. Gear 8, however, starts to get heavy again. We've already can see the stun guns, some Kabantis, and a droid caller. Gear 9, we've got some Nubian tech, some more Kabantis and stun guns, and we've got then more holo projectors, and then further on the gear gets deeper. With Kanan at Gear 7, again we've got some more Kabantis, which in my opinion is probably one of the hardest gear to get. I don't have a lot of Kabantis, I've saved up a few of them, but I don't really want to be wasting them on these Phoenix characters. Gear 8, again furnace, some more stun guns, some more Kabantis. The gear alone for these characters, if you are wanting to get them to Gear 8, could potentially take you over a month just to do that, especially on a free-to-play side of things. You know, it could be looking at 3-4 months depending on what shards you're getting, crystal shards you're getting from your shard arena. And again, we can see it's deep, it's scary, it's horrible. There is a lot of gear, and this is why I would give my recommendation that if you are going to go after them, to give it a shot at the Thrawn event, to start them at Gear 7 and then work up that. It may be really difficult, but if Thrawn is overpowered, you know, it depends again if you've got Empire, because my imagination is you're going to need Empire if he's a leader or whatever his kit is, so it's probably going to be something that benefits Empire. If you currently don't have any Empire characters or you need to gear them up, then Thrawn may not be the best move for you right now until you're in a better situation, because you could be wasting all these resources and getting zero reward from it, because you could get him at 5-star, which looks very doable for a lot of us, but it depends when this event, legendary event, is going to drop. So if you've enjoyed this video, then please feel free to leave a like. If you've got any questions or comments that you want to put in the comment section, feel free to, and I'll try to respond to every single one of them. Thank you very much for watching today. I'm the Smithie D. May the Force be with you always.